Remember that time you had to lug 3 big heavy suitcases down 4 flights of stairs just to get off of the ship?
Unfortunately, yes, I do remember that.
Oh my God, have we learned some things the hard way? Today we are sharing our biggest disembarkation day tips. Stick around. You need to hear these.
I am Ray.
And I'm Kiki.
And we are
Team Reese.
Team Reese.
Let's get into it, y'all.
Let's do it.
We're talking about disembarkation, how to save some time, keep yourself less stressed, how to just, you already got to get off the ship. You don't want to.
Sad day.
Yeah, it's already a sad day. We can at least help you make it a little bit less stressful. Number 1 tip for disembarkation. Figure out how you are going to get your bags off of the ship. Ships offer 2 options. There is a self-disembark, where you walk off with all of your own luggage on the morning of the cruise. We only recommend this if you have an early flight where you need to be off the ship early morning. And if that's the case, we do recommend that you sign up for that express walk off, which you can normally do in the ship's app. If you do not need to be off the ship early for an early flight, highly recommend that you do assisted luggage, which is where you would put all of your bags out the night before the end of the cruise, and they will come get your bags for you.
Yes.
They take them off for you. They do all the work. Like, who wants to do the work when you don't have to, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that being able to have assistance is a great assistance to people, especially if you have kids. If you have kids and you got the stroller and you got all kind of stuff, you are going to want assistance. And so that's the ideal thing for parents or for couples who just don't want to, they still want to be in vacation mode and need the extra help. Couples, parents, whoever it is, still in vacation mode, want the extra help. And so I think being able to have assistance and having the porters to be able to do that for you is great.
Or if you have physical limitations where you are not able to carry your own luggage off, obviously you would need to have, at that point, it will be the ship's staff that will help you get those bags off. They will come and get those bags for you the day before. One of the things that we have gotten out of the habit of doing, we used to wait till the end of the night. Say they said have your bags out by 10 p.m. We would be the ones in the hallway at 9:59 p.m. dragging our bags into the hallway.
Wait, don't leave me.
Don't do that, y'all. Don't. Take your time. Get your stuff packed up throughout that last full day of the cruise so that you can get your stuff out. If you get your stuff out when they first open that window of time for you to put it out, which is usually, it might be 6 p.m., 7 p.m. Sometimes it might even be as early as 5 p.m., but it'll let you start putting stuff out. Do that so that you can just enjoy the last night of your cruise. Who wants to spend the last night of your cruise in your room packing your stuff up?
Right.
Get your stuff packed up throughout the day so that you can have your stuff out nice and early for them to pick up.
Absolutely. One of the other things that you need to do would be to settle your account.
Woo.
I would highly recommend to get down there the day before you disembark as early as possible.
Yes.
Because there are going to be people there. The whole ship might be there at one time, depending on what's going on. And so if you get there early, get it out of the way, and get that squared away. Then when you get ready to disembark, you don't have to worry about anything. Going there at 8, 9 o'clock at night on the day before disembarkation, it's going to be a nightmare.
You just want to stand in line at that point,
right? You're just going to be like this, and you don't even check your attitude
because you waited to the last minute to go down.
Check all that stuff at the little red rope because you waited to the last minute. So I suggest you go ahead and do your disembarkation. Settle your onboard activity. So anything you've purchased, anything that you've considered purchasing, get that stuff done out the way because you don't want to be in that crowd.
Absolutely. And you know what? If this is especially important if you are one that does a cash account, Because the walk of shame that takes place if you get to the door and are ready to walk off the ship and they scan your card and they tell you, no, you got to go over there to the desk. You can't leave yet. Go ahead and take care of that account. Even if you don't do a cash account, if you have a credit card on file, if you're not familiar with the process, if you already have a card on file, they're just going to charge whatever charges you have to your card anyway, and you're going to end up paying it. Still make sure you take a look at that bill that they bring you, that final bill, and make sure that it's correct, because it is much easier to work through any discrepancies while you are on the ship than it is to try to get something corrected after you get off. Take the time to do that on your last day on the cruise.
And even to add on to that, I would look, because you have access to your account on your app. The purchases you've just done may not pop up right away. It may pop up a little bit later or maybe the next day. But keep an eye on your account on your app as well as the television.
Yes.
Some cruise ships allow you to watch your account on the television. I think it was one time we seen some charges on RJ's account. We was like, what the heck is this? But then we realized what was going on. You remember that time when we was on the Icon and RJ lost his card, and within, y'all, it's no lie, within 5 minutes of him losing that card, somebody found it, picked it up, swiped everything off of it, and then dropped it on the floor.
Yep. They sure did. That was Icon. I couldn't remember what ship that was, but I remember it happening, and I remember going to guest services.
Yeah, because it was a big arcade.
Yeah. And we would have had to work through the casino host in order to get refunds for arcade purchases. So we just talked it up to, well, RJ, you were supposed to keep up with your card and you didn't, so this is a loss for you. Some lessons you got to learn the hard way.
Tell your kids, put some cards around their necks and keep them there.
Next tip. What we got, Ray?
You can consider alternative routes. You can, when you get ready to disembark. So there's the option to taking the elevator, or there's the option to take the stairs. Now, if all you have is one bag and your book bag, then it depends on how heavy that one bag is. I would suggest to take the stairs, because depending on the cruise ship, they have allotted time slots for when everybody can leave. And so when you pick your time slot, you should be down there ready to disembark at that time, because what happens is if you don't, then you're going to roll into somebody else's time slot and it's going to be a big mess.
Yes. And when he says to be down there ready, there are certain designated locations that they will tell you to go. Every area of the ship is not up for grabs on the day you're getting off. Right. You are going to have to be out of your room by a certain time. There's going to be areas where you're allowed to congregate and areas where you are not. You can choose to go eat breakfast in one of the sit-down main dining rooms, or you can choose to go eat at the buffet. But the moral of that point is you have to be somewhere where you are allowed to be. And because there is so much taking place at that time, so many people moving off, so many people moving luggage, so many staff members that are trying to get luggage off, certain elevators are going to be closed down, certain hallways are going to be closed down, certain stair access is not going to be accessible for you. Keep that in mind as you're making your decision on whether or not you're going to carry your own bags on or off. That is how we ended up having to drag a bunch of bags up and down stairs to get off the ship, because we held on to our luggage when we really didn't need to, and we ended up having to do that, and it was tough.
Hot mess. So again, also realize everybody has the same idea you have. I got to get off the ship. So elevators or stairs is going to be crowded. So just be careful, be mindful. If you have kids, follow the time schedule. That way you and your children or your child can get going and not get caught up in the crowd. Be mindful of what time your return flight is when you book your return flight, based off of your arrival back to the port. Because what can happen is you can arrive at the port, but if there's some kind of inspection that needs to go on, if there's an emergency that needs to go on that's happening, that is going to take priority off of you getting off the ship early enough so you can catch your early morning flight. So if you know the ship comes in at 6 o'clock and you're supposed to be able to disembark by 8:30, get you a flight for like 12 or 1 o'clock, unless you just have to try to have an early morning flight because you got to get back home or you got to get to your next destination. Try to book something between 12 and later, because that way that gives you time to get from the port to the airport. Because you realize, just like when we were on Icon, if you're on Icon now, Icon holds with just passengers itself 7,600 people. Now, imagine having to find an Uber or a Lyft or some kind of taxi cab and 7,600 people outside the people that drove to the port trying to get out of there. You don't want to get caught up in that. Well, that happened to us too, where we called the Uber was like 2 or 3 times and it kept getting canceled and it kept all kind of stuff. So be mindful of when you book your flight. So if you could book 1:12 or later, we would highly suggest that you do that, because you don't want to get caught in that crowd, because anything can happen.
Yes, every cruise line will have their own designated recommended times for how early you can book your flight after the cruise. So look for those posted on your cruise website. They're going to vary by the departure port that you went out of and are coming back to. So just make sure you take a look at those when you're getting ready to book your flight and abide by those. You can take chances and book earlier flights if you would like to. There's a good chance that you would probably make it, but there's also that opportunity, or there's also it's a chance. You're taking a chance that you may not be able to get it off on time to make an early flight.
Absolutely. Two other things that you should do. I got 2 more, Key. Is that cool with you?
No.
Oh.
I was just playing.
Oh.
Another tip. Make sure you have your declaration form filled out. If you are bringing anything back, like say you purchased something at one of the duty-free shops and you have enough of it that you need to declare it, make sure you have that form filled out. Also, if you have items that you say purchased in port, or items that were confiscated from your bag that you need to pick up, be mindful of the cruise lines. Be mindful of the cruise lines operations for how to get those back. They will give you instructions on where you can pick up your items, either on the ship, if it's something that you purchased while in port, or if it's something that they confiscated, they'll also give you details on how you can get those items back as well. Yep. And don't take stuff that they confiscate. Then you'll be all right.
All right, y'all. One last pro tip for you all. The crew and the staff are there to help and assist you. Please listen to them, because they know the ship like the back of their hands, because they've been training and they've been doing things on these ships for quite a while. So please be mindful of the instructions that they give you. I know it's early in the morning. I know some folks say, don't talk to me till I get my coffee. Just please be mindful and be courteous to them, because
and pack your patience.
Right, pack your patience. Be mindful and courteous and pack your patience and with the crew and staff, because they're doing their job as just like you're just trying to get off the ship. So if they give you certain instructions, it's probably a reason why you're giving you those instructions. They say certain things or send you in a certain direction. They're trying to protect you from something that's going on, what could happen. Because going back to the elevators and the steps, there are some elevators, I think Kiki said this already, that get shut down during that time. So you might have been used to using that same elevator every time, but if they tell you don't go that way, it's a reason why. So all right, y'all, that's all. Those are our tips for disembarkation on any cruise ship. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at Team Reese Travels on all social platforms, or email us at teamreachetravels@gmail.com. Or how about this one? If you all would like to have travel booked for you,
you can email us at booking@teamreachetravels.com, and we will be able to get you squared away and set up. We'll sit with you and personally develop the best vacation for you and your family. So make sure you email us if you need someone to help you book. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button. And if you feeling a little bit more, you want a little bit more than what everybody else get, check out our channel membership, where you will get exclusive content, firsthand knowledge of all of our travel plans, and a little bit something more than what the rest of the world sees. So
absolutely.
All right. Until next time, you guys.
We are Team Reese.
All day.
All day.
Bye.
Peace.